gentlemen, I go by the name Shot of Adrenaline, and I'm so happy that you joined me here today. Without any further ado, just hit that like button if you rock with the content, hit subscribe if you want to see some more. But for now, let's jump right in. All right, now let me start by saying this. I'm not confused about what an idol is when it comes to music specifically. I get it. An idol is somebody put on a pedestal, not just because of their music, but because of the fandom, right? And I'm talking multi-layer, super loyal, ride or die, pitchfork waving fandom, all right? It's an entire ecosystem. Now, you'd think an artist is the same thing, right? Like, isn't that just another name for it? Nah, not really. In comparison, an artist is someone who drives the creative direction of their career. I'm talking the sound, the message, the evolution. Everything comes from them first. Now, recently, I've been working on my new album and a few other music projects, and it took me down this crazy K-pop rabbit hole. Now, I already knew a little bit about it on the surface, like BTS, Blackpink, the big names, all that stuff. But I started asking why South Korea has such a strong idol culture in the first place. Now, look, I'm not a K-pop expert, so don't come at me. I know I don't have a PhD in this thing, but I'm just speaking from an artist's perspective and connecting it to the reality that we all live in. So number one, let's talk about the training. Have you seen some of these training videos? I'm talking 5 years, 10 years, sometimes even more of just singing, dancing, media coaching, different languages, and the performances every day. Honestly, if you ask me, that sounds amazing. All right. Now, look, I'm an independent artist, so I've been making music since I was 9 years old. So I get it. The discipline, the repetition, the mirror work, it becomes all too familiar, right? But when it comes to K-pop, this is that, but on super steroids. And it's fire. There's nothing wrong with it. Because over there, especially when it comes to major labels in South Korea and Southeast Asian region, they understand the power of music so deeply that they literally build the artist from seed to bloom. All right. The US does that too, as far as our labels, but the level of structured artist development is completely different. Completely different. All right. And we still have a problem with not having enough of it over here. So here's my thing. If you train 5 years, 10 years, and even if you've mastered performance, if you've learned songwriting, choreography, stage presence, and you happen to not debut with a group, why would you quit? Why would the dream have to end there? At that point, you are stacked. You've got the skills, you got the work ethic, you got the performance reps, and usually some type of audience that already knows or is familiar with your face. That's when you're no longer in the idol trainee phase. You are an independent artist. And that is no downgrade. So to the K-pop artists and to the K-pop fans out there, please tell me the real. From the outside looking in, that system feels more of like a launch pad as opposed to a dead end. Now, there's one person who really caught my eye when I was doing my deep dive into the rabbit hole, and it's EJ. Shout out to you, EJ. I found her through of course, the K-pop Demon Hunters. Now, yes, like most of y'all, I have seen it. Don't judge me because I won't judge you. But what caught me wasn't necessarily the animation. It wasn't even the plot. It was the songwriting. What? There's a scene in particular where the main character, she has like this emotional duet with one of the demons. And I remember thinking, yo, who wrote this? Now, okay, it's K-pop. Maybe there was like 10 writers in a room. Nothing wrong with that. But then I found out that EJ was the lead writer or is the lead writer on most of those songs, which blew my mind because I learned where she came from within the K-pop ecosystem. But that right there is a cheat code. That's the difference between idol energy and artist energy. Knowing how to encapsulate all of your skills to create opportunity. Now, when we talk idols versus artists, there's nothing wrong with being an idol. Let's just get that clear. That level of fandom, that's power. Look at BTS, Blackpink. I know I keep mentioning them, but these aren't just music acts. They control a level of lifestyle, fashion, culture, and overall just a certain type of influence that most of us don't have. But me, as an artist, I'm the type that still listens to a song on repeat and repeat. And not because of TikTok showing it to me 90,000 times, but because the lyrics really hit. Because bars still matter. Because melody, harmony, and the message still stick. And I think that's where the conversation gets messed up sometimes. Too often artists from that particular region get boxed into K-pop instead of being respected as full, well-rounded artists. Same way here in the US, if you're a rapper that makes boom bap, you're that guy. If you happen to mumble, you're that guy. All until one of that guys become a global superstar. And we've seen that one too many times to act like it's not real. Art is supposed to evolve. Okay? If red and blue work for a picture, but you realize red and yellow makes the story of that picture look better, which one should you go with? Because when it comes down to the real difference between idols and artists, most of the time it's just business. It's just the business. So to circle back around to EJ didn't stop when her talent was said to have stopped. No, she came to the US, she learned business, I believe at NYU, and that was the missing piece. Wait. That belief that talent, followers, and confidence alone will take you to number one? Nah, bruh. It won't. The art plus the business, that's how you last. That's how you continue to move forward. That's how you stop being an idol and become an artist. You ask me, I believe artistry has a longer runway. It is more fruitful. The legacy is way more impactful. But there's something to learn from an artist, because these idols are still artists. There's something to learn from an idol who has spent the better part of 5 to 10 years perfecting their craft, with precision. That's worth a big up. So big up to all of y'all. The idols that are currently on a pedestal and the idols that are currently making their way up. Same way for any artist who is looking to touch different markets, to touch more fans, to touch more hearts, to remedy more ears. Allow yourself the space to let go and be propelled forward. If we're only doing the things that make us feel good or sound good to us, what are we doing? I'll be back with more videos about this topic, specifically when it comes to the business of music and up and coming artists, established artists, as you guys see this, as you guys continue to follow my journey. But yeah, for the time being, subscribe, hit that like button, and even if you don't, you will see me soon. I'll see you there. Peace.